Hello, Aries. How are you? Hope you're well. I'm back. Woohoo! Um, so this is going to be the general reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, for August 2025. This month we are going to be using the Visionary Woman Tarot by the lovely Kristine Gorman. If you don't know Kristine, she did the Leo video for me last month for July, and she is wonderful. And the Find Your Own Way Oracle by Ari Wisner, who is equally amazing. So, let us get stuck into it, Aries, shall we? We're going to put that up there, and then we're going to pull a card from the Find Your Way Oracle. So what have you been up to, Aries? How have you been? What is Saturn retrograde and Neptune retrograde feeling like? We've got a wee bit of a break coming up, because they will retrograde back into Pisces for a wee while. So let's see what we've got. Your sacred garden, Aries. Okay, now it would be easy for me to turn around and say, oh well, just you take yourself off to nature, Aries, and just you plant yourself somewhere and just tune in. Now we both know that you can't sit still for more than 5 minutes, Aries, is with the best will in the world, okay? Now, what I feel like this is what has really drawn me to this card is, see this key here? And it feels like to me that there's something going on with you, Aries, and you're kind of feeling like, oh, I need to get the answer. You know, it's almost like you're on a treasure hunt, right? This is what's coming through to me. And you've got the map and you know where you're going, but it's like in order to unlock the next level, you need the key. And I think the key to unlocking the next level is forgetting about it. Right, hear me out, Aries. Forgetting about the task in hand and creating something bigger. Okay, so instead of dialing down into the details, think it in, like, to use like a LinkedIn term, look at the broader strokes, okay? Look at the creation process of the garden, if you like, right? The garden of your success. Where is that going to be? What does that look like? And look at it in like a bigger picture sense, as opposed to drilling down into the detail. And I think by doing that, the detail will come. You know, it will, the key to unlocking the next stage, the next level, the next whatever you want to call it, it will come from going, you know, doing the bigger things, right? It's like almost like not being able to motivate yourself to, I don't know, clean the toilet, but you can clean the bathroom floor, you know, and then by cleaning the bathroom floor, you automatically go into using, you know, and cleaning the toilet. I don't know why I'm using that analogy. It isn't great, but I hope you get my my reasoning behind that, Aries. So we're going to leave that there. So maybe your sacred space is the toilet. You know, maybe that's the only place that you get peace and quiet for family commitments, you know. Be actually just saying, right, I need to go to the toilet and announcing it, and everybody gives you peace. But when you open the door, there's like maybe like a queue of people. There's like maybe your partner, or maybe if you get kids, you know, they're there. If there's any pets waiting on you, you know. So go and find a place. Go and find your sacred garden. Now, my throat's still a wee bit sore at times, so if you hear any pauses, it's probably because I'm trying to take a drink discreetly. But if you have known me for any length of time, I really can't do discreet, to be honest, Aries. I try. Okay, so this deck is so colourful, it's so pretty. Every card has been painted. It's an original oil painting that Kristine has done, and I was very lucky to be sent an advance copy. Oh, look at me, I know. Right, so let's get a look, see. Okay, let's see where we go. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Lovers, look at Strength, the King of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and we have the World with the late great Rachel Pollack. At the bottom of the deck we have got the Magician. Okay, I'm going to see if I can zoom out a bit here. Oh no, that is zooming in. We don't want to zoom in. Okay, right, there we go. Excellent. So we can see all the cards here on the table. Why I didn't do that at the beginning, Aries, I don't know. Maybe because I am out of practice. Okay. Let's see. There's 6 cards here on the table. You know, here, 6 tarot cards. Technically 8, you could say 9. But the main reading proper, okay, 6 cards. Of those 6, you have got 3 major arcana. We've got the Lovers, we've got Strength, we've got the World, and we've got hard-hitting, you know, they are hard-hitting major arcanas. And what we've also got is we've got the Magician. Now, the majority of August, we are going to be in a retro? We could be in a retro period, I don't know. We are going to be in a Mercury retrograde. Okay, so don't run and scream, it's fine. But what I want to say is, it is a time of reflection. Okay, it is a time of understanding where you are going forward, where you to reassess your life, to reassess your communication. Remember, Mercury is the planet of communication. The Magician is ruled by the planet Mercury. Okay, so it feels to me like with that just initial thing, and again, the Lovers is Gemini, which is ruled by, you guessed it, Mercury. Wow. So where this feels like to me, Aries, is over the month of August, and you have got the card of Leo. I'm just seeing these things as I say them. It's very much a case of big things are happening, big things are changing, but what I would say is big things are changing internally. Okay, and it might not even be noticeable from those looking at you from the outside in. But what is extremely noticeable is the fact that you are changing. Okay, and the reason why you're changing, the reason I believe you are changing is because of Jupiter. Okay, and I'll tell you for why. Because Jupiter is currently in the sign of Cancer, and that is squaring your sun, or whatever placements you have got in there. And Jupiter is asking you to expand, Aries. It's challenging you to expand. It's almost daring you to expand, because the Nine of Cups is Jupiter in Pisces, so it's a watery energy. And it feels very much, unless you choose to expand, unless you choose to show your inner strength, be analytical about it with this King of Swords here, then the Nine of Cups is going to be, the Nine of Cups is just not going to be relevant for you. This is surprising me as much as it's surprising you, Aries, because when I first put these cards out, this is not where I expected this reading to go. However, that is the absolute joy of tarot, of a reading. You know, it's like the energy just takes you to places. And I enjoyed this combination. Enjoy this combination of the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Okay? Because there's nurturing, but at the same time, it's very mundane. And I don't mean that in a bad thing. I mean, despite the air and the fire in this spread, it feels very balanced, okay? Because you've got all the elements represented in these cards. And everything tying it together as the Magician. So you've got that air energy, you've got the earth energy, you've got the water energy, and you've got the fire energy. And what incredible fire energy it is. You know, it's strength. And it's that internal strength, Aries. You know, for a sign that is so outwardly flamboyant or perceived as being outwardly flamboyant, there's a lot of work that goes on underneath. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, a lot of work that goes on that no everybody can see. And I think that, you know, for you to feel that connection with yourself, it sometimes takes a lot. You know, it maybe takes that going to your sacred place, going to the toilet, going for a shower, you know, for you to actually feel in tune with your physical body and with your spiritual body. But ultimately, what it feels like is this month, over the coming month of August, there will be an internal dialogue, and it'll be between yourself and yourself. So it could be head and heart. You know, the lovers, I often see it as, you know, that choice in the two aspects of the self. You know, it's like there's the head, there's the heart. You know, what part do you listen to? The ultimate goal for all of us is to find balance and harmony between our head and our heart, so that they're both singing for the same, you know, they're both singing for the same songbook. I know that isn't how that phrase goes, but anyway, I hope you get my point. I mean, let's just look at that strength card for a moment. You know, the lion there has got his eyes closed. It looks very peaceful because it's got ultimate trust in the person. It knows that the person is not going to lead it wrong. And maybe that person, maybe you've been relying on somebody else too much, Aries. And it's time for you to go it on your own, you know. But you've maybe been holding yourself back because it's scary. You know, putting your head above the parapet, you know, and actually declaring to the world, hi, I'm here. And even for the most confident people, you know, it's very, very difficult, because usually if we're talking or if we're, you know, putting myself out there, it's on behalf of something else, so the stakes aren't really as high. But when it comes down to putting ourselves out there for ourselves, then it becomes terrifying. You know, then it becomes like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. But you can, Aries, you know. Remember, your motto is I am. And you absolutely can do it. You're absolutely strong enough. You're absolutely brave enough to do it. And it feels to me like it'll be the ending of a cycle, and it'll be the beginning of a new one. It'll be the culmination. And maybe that's what this Mercury retrograde is about for you. It's about having closure. It's about a cycle coming to an end. And that's a very powerful place to be. So it's that you could be getting into that in-between space, you know, between projects or even between jobs. You know, it could be an actual job, you know, that you're finishing up in the month of August, and you maybe get one lined up, and you've maybe, you know what, even if you don't have a job lined up, what's coming through here very much is trust the process. You know, Aries, trust the process, and you find yourself a place that can be just for you. Okay, a place that only you know. And I think going forward, that will do you the world of good, Aries. Okay, my darlings, it's been wonderful spending time with you. I hope that reading helps. Do let me know in the comments how you are, what you've been up to. Remember, you can reach out and book a reading, a personal private reading with me over at www.marinktarot.com, and a link for everything will be in the description box. Okie dokie, Aries, thank you so much. Bye.